Hello everybody. So today I am going to start lesson 2 in my this series of the video lectures, video tutorials on the CBSE physics, and starting with the chapter 10 in the syllabus, that is light, reflection, diffraction and image formation from the different types of mirror. So let us start with our next question. So that day we were discussing about the properties of images in simple mirror. Now today, how do we represent them mathematically, or the mathematical representation of the properties of image formation in the simple mirror? Now what is that? Let us assume that if u is the distance between object and mirror and v is the distance between image and mirror. If u and v are the distances of object and mirror image respectively from mirror, then we can say we will be observing that u is always equal to v. U is always equal to v, but with a negative sign. It means that the distance of object from mirror is exactly equal to the distance of image from the mirror, but in the opposite direction. This negative sign indicates that it is in the opposite direction. So it means that image is formed at the same distance but negative on opposite side. Negative means this negative sign indicates that it is on the opposite side. This is the one important property of the image formation in simple mirror. And then the second one is, if m represents the magnification, then this m is equal to v upon u, that is size of image upon size of object, and that is always equal to 1. Means there is no magnification of image, or we can say that size of image is always equal to size of object. So this is how do we represent the properties of image formation, images in simple mirror mathematically. U is always equal to minus v and m is equal to v upon u, and that is equal to 1. M is always equal to, finally the m is equal to 1. This is how we represent the properties mathematically. Now let us discuss about the spherical mirrors. What are spherical mirrors? So spherical mirrors can be of two types. Spherical, they are cut from a hypothetical sphere. Okay, these are supposed to be the part of some sphere, hollow sphere. These are supposed to be the part of some hollow sphere. A hollow glass sphere is there. We cut it vertically, then you will find one chord, one three-dimensional chord will be there, that will be separating a particular portion, that will serve as the spherical surface. And when this one side of the surface is polished to reflect the light rays, then it becomes a mirror. Similarly, in this case, this side is polished by some zinc oxide or something like that, and it becomes totally opaque, and the object is placed on that most side from where the rays will fall. So this is the spherical mirror. Now what is the difference between concave and convex? The concave mirror is that in which the depression is the reflecting surface is depressed. This is the reflecting surface and it is depressed inward. And in the convex type of mirror, the reflecting surface is bulged outside. So outside, the depressing portion is polished. So this becomes the convex mirror and this becomes the concave mirror. Now let us see, there are some points which may, some terms which we may remember here itself. One is pole, another axis, center of curvature, radius of curvature, focus and aperture. So let us start with pole. What is pole? Pole is the center point of the mirror. Pole is center point of the mirror, from which this principal axis passes. Pole is the center point of the mirror. This O. This is pole. This is pole. Axis, principal axis. Principal axis is a perpendicular line to this horizontal line on which the center of the curvature will lie. Center will lie. A line joining this pole to center of curvature is known as principal axis. Similarly, here also a line joining principal of axis to center of curvature is known as pole. Then what is center of curvature? This center of curvature is that center of a sphere. It is the center of that sphere of which this particular mirror is considered to be the part of. Similarly, in this case, this is the part of the mirror. If you see, this is the part of this mirror, so center of curvature will be somewhere here. That will be center of curvature. Like in this case, because if you extend it like this, this center of curvature will be somewhere here. In this case, if you extend, center of curvature will be here. So this will be the center of curvature. Now, center of curvature, then the radius of curvature. What is radius of curvature? Radius of curvature is nothing but because this portion joining center to this O is equal to the radius of that sphere of which this is supposed to be the part of, that particular distance is known as a radius of curvature and is denoted by a capital R. That is center of radius of curvature. Then focus. Focus is one point lying on the principal axis of a mirror where the rays after coming from a long distance seem to be merging at a common point. After reflection, they are merging at the common point is known as the focus point. And this focus also lies on the principal axis. This also lies on the principal axis. And aperture. What is aperture? This M and length is known as aperture. This M and length is known as. Now let me tell you how does a ray falls on the polished surface and get how the laws of reflection are followed and where the rays ultimately go. So let us take the example of, first of all, any ray falling obliquely on this surface. How does it come? I will tell you with this. So let us consider this ray is coming and falling obliquely on this surface. What will happen? It will be reflected, and in reflection it will again follow all the laws of reflection. How? That it will make the equal and opposite angle. It's normal. Let us see, this is the normal to this surface. This Cn is the normal to this surface. Why it is normal? You must have studied in your mathematics that any radius in a circle is always perpendicular to its circumference. So this is one of the radius. This is part of circle. This Cn is one of the radius, and it is going to be the perpendicular only. So you must be very much clear. So this is making an angle of incidence which is equal to I. Then it will be reflected following this angle. This will make an angle R such that I and R both are equal at the same. Suppose this is 45 degree, then this will also be 45 degree. R will be also equal to 45 degree, and it will go in this direction. So this is one example how any ray falling obliquely on the surface of a curved mirror will, after following the law of reflection, will pass. It may not pass through focus, it may pass through focus. It depends upon how much angle it is falling upon and other factors also. So we will be discussing case by case. In second case, if the rays are coming parallel from infinite, that parallel ray, if it is falling parallel to the principal axis, then after this reflection it will pass through one point. Similarly, this ray, when it is coming parallel to the principal axis, after reflection it will pass and meet this principal axis at a common point. The point on which these rays which are coming parallel to the principal axis after reflection gets or meet at a particular point is known as the focus point. So many rays coming parallel on this will come and fall on this particular point, which is known as focus F. This point F is known as the principal focus of the mirror, and in that case the distance between pole and principal focus is known as focal length of the mirror. Distance between pole and principal focus is known as the focal length of the mirror, and it is represented by a letter small f. We'll find that this r, that is the radius of curvature, is just double the focal length. We'll find it that r is always equal to 2f. So here we have we can use this diagram as one of the ray diagram, which is valid for those objects which are kept at infinite distance or far away from the mirror, that their image will be, because all the rays will be coming parallel to the principal axis, and after reflection they will meet at the point focus, so the image will be formed at focus. So in that case we can take it as one of the specific cases of image formation in the concave mirror, that in case of concave mirror, when the object is placed at a point far away from the mirror, the images are formed at focus. Images are formed as focus. And what is the nature of these images? These images are real images. These are highly diminished point images, means their size is almost diminished to the level of a point. So as in case of sun, you must have seen that in a fully lightened day, when the sun is at full of its peak, if you take a concave mirror and point its direction towards sun such that the rays are falling directly on the concave lens, and you tilt it little bit towards earth or something, or make an image in the screen, then you will find that the total sunlight is focused at a particular point, and the intensity of this light is so high that a cotton can be burnt using this pattern, and the fire can be produced using this, because all the energy beams which are coming parallel are converged to the point focus, and on point focus if we keep some cotton or something like that, it is likely to be burnt within no time, within fraction of a minute or something like that. So this is the one of the specific case, ray diagram of one of the specific case when the object is placed far away from the mirror, then the images are formed at the focus in case of concave mirror, and these images are real, they are very highly diminished. Now in this case we will be considering two cases of falling the incident ray in different angles on a convex mirror. This is a convex mirror. I have seen that this bulge side, the side which is bulged outside is reflecting surface, and this side is a damp surface. So we will have to keep the object somewhere here on this side. So suppose one ray is falling obliquely on this surface, AB ray is falling obliquely on this surface. What will happen? It will again follow the laws of reflection. How? This C is the center of curvature of this mirror, and the line passing through C and this point of intersection of this ray with the aperture is will serve as the normal. So this is the Cn is the normal. So if this makes angle I1 with the normal, then with the same angle I1 making from normal to it will be reflected in BC direction and go away from the mirror, and it will go that side. Similarly, if a ray which is coming parallel, that CD ray is coming parallel to the optical axis or principal axis, and this ray, when it is coming parallel, after reflection it will go in the direction DE. Am I clear? Yes, this will go in this direction DE, and of course it will follow the law of reflection. If this angle is I2, this will also be I2. This C and S is normal at point D. So what will happen? This will go in the direction DE. But this reflected ray will will seem to be coming from the point focus. If we see in the backward direction, it will look as if it will be appearing that this ray is coming from the focus. So when extrapolated this ray to this principal axis, this will meet at a point which is known as focus. This is how a parallel ray incident on convex mirror gets reflected, and when extrapolated in the backward direction, it meets the principal axis at a point which is known as F, or the principal focus of convex mirror. Similarly, we can see that if any ray which is incident on the convex or concave mirror from the point focus, it is going from focus, it is emergent through focus, it will be reflected back and go parallel to the principal axis. Similarly, in the concave mirror, or may it be convex mirror, in case of convex mirror, it will appear to be; in concave mirror, it will be actual. So we have seen different scenarios, and now see if in case of concave mirror, if one ray is coming and falling on this concave mirror, passing through focus point, then after reflection it will become parallel to the principal axis. It will become parallel to the principal axis. Similarly, in case of convex mirror, if any ray which is falling on the mirror in such a fashion that its angle is as if it is extrapolated, it passes through F, then after reflection it will become parallel to the principal axis. This is when the rays are coming through focus, or are appearing to be coming from focus, fall on the reflecting surface, they become parallel after reflection is over. So now let us discuss the cases one by one, that what happens in different cases, what are the image formation in the concave mirror when the objects are placed at different distances at their principal axis. So in first case we have already discussed that when the object is placed at the infinity, all the rays are coming and striking on the reflecting surface parallel to the principal axis, and after reflection they get focused on the focus point, and a highly diminished site of image, real image is formed. In second case, when the object is kept beyond center of curvature, but not at infinity, between infinite distance and center of curvature, that is somewhere here beyond this. Let us consider this AB as the object, and OB is the object. Then we have seen two things. Then one ray going parallel, this let this be B, this be M, and this B, and let it be G. Then BG is the ray which is parallel to the principal axis. What will happen? After reflection it will pass through focus point. After reflection it will pass through focus point. Similarly, the ray which is incident on this side coming through focus, that after reflection will become parallel to the principal axis, and this will meet at a point B1, and the object image will be formed. It will be a diminished, you can see here very well that it is a diminished image, diminished one, diminished, and real image, because the rays after reflection are meeting in real. So this is real image, and it is not erect image, it is inverted image. It is inverted image. So we can summarize with this: when the object is kept beyond C, what will happen? This will take this shape, it will form a diminished image, and the image will be formed between C and F. Of course, image will be formed between C and F, between C and F. The image will be formed between center of curvature and the focus point. So this is the nature of the image formed when the object is placed little beyond C, not at infinite. Please remember, infinite is a separate case, and between infinite and center of curvature is another case. In this case, in that case, the image was highly diminished. Now when this object has come nearer, this size of the image has started getting bigger. This is a very particular and very special case in which in this case the object is placed at center of curvature. Object is placed at center of curvature. Like this is center of curvature. Now object is placed here. What will happen? You see one ray going parallel, that will pass through focus and will come at this point. Similarly, the ray passing through focus will come and meet at this point. What will happen? The image will be formed from the geometry of these triangles. You can see that the image, these points will meet at point C, and the image will be formed at point C itself. The image will be formed at point C. Of course, what are the differences between? The image will be of the same size. Image will be of the same size. From the triangle symmetries, we will find that the image will be of same size. It is inverted image, it will a real image, and then it is not between C and F but at C. This will be formed at C itself. So the nature of image in this case, when the object is at C, it will be of the same size. The M magnification will be 1, that is V upon U will be 1. It will be a real image because the rays are actually meeting here, and then it will be inverted image. You can see that image, the B corresponding point of B is this B dash, and the corresponding point of A is A dash, A dash, B dash. It is an inverted image, and the image is formed at C. It will be formed at C itself. So this is the third case of the image formation in case of concave mirror, when the object is placed at C. So in this fourth case, we keep the object in between C and F. We keep the object AB in between C and F, and what we will see that the image is formed beyond C. The image is formed beyond C. It is inverted image. It is again a real image, but now it is not any more diminished one or equal size. It is an enlarged image. You can see it is an enlarged image. See, from the symmetry of the triangle, you will come to know mathematics. A little mathematics is there. You can easily prove that this will be an enlarged image. You can see from this triangle itself. Is it not? Because this similarity of the triangle, we can very well prove that this image will be, in this case, M will be greater than 1. That is V upon U will be greater than 1. This is the fourth case of the image formation. We will summarize it later. So this is a typical case when the object is placed at F. When the object is placed at focal point of a concave mirror, what happens? That the any ray falling like this ray going parallel, then passing through focus point, going in this direction. This ray, which is normal to this, after reflection will pass again in the same direction and will go this direction. This is an oblique ray striking at principal, and this pole is after reflection it will become parallel to this ray. So all the rays will become parallel to each other, and hence we will see that very large size or infinite size of an image will be there. We cannot see it in practice, so we can say that image is formed at infinite. Image will be highly enlarged. It will be an inverted image because it will be away from the principal axis, therefore it will be inverted only, and M will be infinite in this case. So this is the fourth and typical case. When the object is placed at focal point, the image will be formed at infinite, and it will be a typical sort of image. The last case of image formation in concave mirror is when the object is placed between pole and focus. Pole and focus. So let's see what happens. This is OF, this is O, pole and focus. Object is placed in between pole and focus. So one ray that is going parallel, striking parallel, after reflection it will pass through F and will go in this direction. Another ray which is normal to this axis, after reflection will pass through center of curvature. So in practice, these rays after reflection are not meeting in practical. They are moving apart from each other after reflection. So what will happen in real? They will not meet anywhere. It means no real image will be formed in this case. No real image will be formed because the rays after reflecting are not meeting. You can say after reflection these are going in this direction and getting apart from each other. So they will never meet. So what happens? Where the image will be formed then? So if these two rays will seem to be coming from a point somewhere here beyond the mirror, this will be coming, as we have seen in the case of simple mirror, that in real after reflection they are not meeting at any point. So it looks that these two rays are coming from a common point which is beyond the coated surface of the mirror, from the back of the mirror, opposite surface of the mirror. Similar is the case because these rays are not meeting anywhere here. So these will appear to be coming from a point somewhere here, and if we extrapolate these two rays, these will meet at this point and this will correspond to the upper point of this particular image. So here the image will be formed, at a bigger image will be formed. This is enlarged image will be formed. This is very much, this should be, but this is not real image. This is always a virtual image, a magnified image, an erect image. M is always greater than 1. This will be a virtual image. Secondly, it will be an enlarged image. It is an erect image, and M is always greater than 1. So these are the cases of concave mirror, different cases when we put the objects at different distances on the principal axis from its pole. Like first case is at infinite, second is between infinite and beyond C, then at C, then between C and F, then at F, then between F and O. So in different cases we have seen that different type of images are formed. More or less always the real images are formed, those are inverted images, but in this case when this object is placed between O and F, the image is no longer a real image, it gets converted into a virtual image. It is formed beyond the polished surface of the curve. It is always a virtual image, an erect image. So this way we can summarize, or we can differentiate, we can find out the nature of the images in different cases of concave mirrors. Now in case of convex mirror, let us discuss the case 1 when the object is at infinity. So what will happen? This is the concave mirror, this is focal point of this concave mirror, this is center of curvature, this is principal axis, pole. The object is kept somewhere here in front of the polished surface at infinite distance. Parallel rays are coming. after reflection, these are following the laws of reflection. This angle will be equal to this angle because this particular is normal, which is extrapolated through pass through center, and this will go in this direction, this will go in this direction. None of the ray will meet in practice. These rays will not meet in, but then we will have to extrapolate them in the backward direction, and what we'll see that these rays, when extrapolated in the backward direction, this one from this, they both meet at focus point of the center of the particular convex mirror. So these, in this case, when the object is kept at infinity, the image is highly diminished. It is virtual image, highly diminished and formed at infinity. Here you will see a very tiny image in case of a convex mirror. When the object is placed at very infinite distance, then we see that a virtual image is formed, virtual image, very tiny, very small virtual image is formed at the focus point of the mirror. So this is we can explain one case, and in case of second case we will try to place the bring the object nearer to the mirror. Let us see in this case when the object is beyond C, when the object is beyond C, what happens? This object is placed beyond C, one ray going parallel to the principal axis getting a pass through focus. Okay. The second ray which passes through this center of curvature gets reflected undeviated. It will go in the same direction because it is working as it is serving as a normal to the surface. So after reflection there will be no change in the direction. It will return with the 0 degree with the normal only. There is an angle 0 degree because normal, incident ray and reflected ray all are in the same direction. There is 0 angle, I is equal to 0, I and R both are 0, so it will go in the same direction when extrapolated to this meet. So these two ray, reflected ray when extrapolated, seem to be meeting at point A1, B1. Seem to be meeting at point B, and the image is formed at point as A1, B1. This is an erect image. So what will be in nature? Erect. Because rays are not meeting in the actual, this is a virtual image. From the geometry of triangle we can see it is an diminished image. We have the properties of the image form. So you see, whatever may be the distance of the object in case of convex mirror, whatever the distance we may keep of the object, the image will be always erect. The image will be always erect. It will always be virtual and smaller than the object. So this is the property of this convex mirror, why this type of mirror are used in the vehicles at the side mirror and other thing, because every object is seen smaller, a tiny object, and it's continuously we can see in the mirror image without getting it inverted or toppling or increasing the size. It is convenient for a driver to use a convex mirror while driving. So this is all about the image formation in convex and concave mirrors, and it is very important if once you understand that how the rays are reflected in case of concave and convex mirror. The laws of reflection are very common. There are no different laws, only two laws of reflection are there. They are followed here in the image formation, and everything is quite simpler. If you understand the very basic of laws of reflection, it will be very easy for you to draw the ray diagrams whenever they are asked in the examination without any doubt. Okay, so in next lesson 3 we will try to discuss another chapter, or if you share your doubts in the comment box. If I receive any comments, any doubts, then we will try to solve those comments in the third lecture, and thereafter we will try to, or I will reply in the discussion box itself. I will reply for your queries whatever they are there, and we will start with the L3, that is refraction portion, and anything left in this I will see. If anything is left, that will try to be covered, and after that we will be taking the refraction portion of light. That is of course very much important. Very number of phenomena are based on refraction. Day-to-day phenomena are there. It's very exciting, and if you try to understand it right from very beginning, it will make you very much loving towards physics. I think physics is not a very difficult subject. It is real life what we see, and very easy to understand. A little concentration of course is required, because if we leave some earlier portion, then the next portion we may face difficulty in understanding that, and whenever any difficulties is there, we should try to resolve our difficulties with the proper understanding of the basics of the physics, and we should not think otherwise. Everything is very simple right from this very stage. If you start taking interest, this will be very interesting subject, and I will also try to pacify all of you in this particular direction. I will leave no effort unturned for your satisfaction. Thank you. Please do not forget to share the video, so that you may get the notification of the new lecture. That is the main motto, that you should not miss any of the lecture, and that will be beneficial for you all. Thank you.